So how am I so productive? Really? Like, hey, I'm a productivity guy. I work, I do things. I focus on what matters. But practically, like, what is productivity and what is it getting more done mean? So recently I stumbled on an episode of the Alex Hormozy podcast where he talked about time leverage and the definition of productivity. And I found this to be one of the better definitions of productivity that I've ever heard. I'm a Notion consultant. I'm a YouTuber. I work a full-time job. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you one hack that I use on a daily basis to make all these things happen. So stick around for that. But to get started, we should quantify productivity. And the definition that I'd like to give it is doing the most amount of work in a certain amount of time. In order to do that, you need to take the highest leverage tasks that you do and do them more often, and especially when comparing that to other people. So oftentimes what happens, and this is extremely important, is that people often do more things that don't mean anything. So when we say high leverage, we mean like actual work. You know, like for example, if I toss this napkin in the air, did I do something? Yeah. Does it mean anything? No, I didn't do anything. I didn't tangibly move the needle forward. If I do this a million times, unless I'm Mr. Beast making a video about it, I didn't do anything. Like this doesn't solve anything for me. I'm not being productive. I am doing more things that mean less. So in order to be more productive, you need to quantify the different things in your life that have the most leverage. Whether that means profit for your business, i.e. for me, I realized what matters more is not the effort I put into maybe editing my videos. Shout out Vinicius, my editor. If you do these things in your life often that are low leverage, but high quantity of work, you're going to be less productive than the people that are doing the opposite. So for example, recently I got an editor, he's starting to do my thumbnails. And while these things matter, they are not as high leverage as what came into my life, which was doing Notion consulting. So the second that a different thing in my life became more high leverage and became a better use of my time, I offloaded the work that was low leverage to other people. I don't schedule my own videos anymore. I used to for 3 years. I don't edit my videos anymore. I used to for 3 years. I don't even write my descriptions anymore. I used to for 3 years. And the reason for that is I had learned the process. I had done the process. They were high leverage tasks contextually for me at the time, but the second something else became more high leverage, I offloaded them and did less of them. Now they still need to get done due to the whole workflow and system going. For example, you may still need to do small things in your day-to-day tasks, but say something comes along that's more important, like for example, you get a job where you have to travel a bit more, but your pay increases by 40%. You're maybe not going to be able to do as much cleaning or meal prep as you used to. Get something like someone to clean your place, get a meal prep service, get anything that you can that will make up for the time. So for example, if I'm spending my time on a low leverage task, like going to the store and buying groceries, when I could just have it delivered for $20, $30 a month. And the reason for that is because I made up for the cost 20, 30 fold by a new pay increase. And for example, say you're making, $50 an hour and you just work 1 extra hour where groceries takes you an hour and a half every week to get, but it only costs you for the week like an extra $9, $10 to get it delivered online. You can see where time leverage has good examples here in personal life things. While most of these situations are catered around business, it's often important for us to think about the different things that we can delegate. Why do people give their kids chores? Contextually, it actually makes a lot of sense to give those low leverage things to people who are going to be doing it for like $5 a week. Now, if you find different ways that you can do that by doing something like economy leveraging, you can really step yourself apart from other people. So for example, a lot of the different subcontractors that I'm currently working with in order to take those now lower leverage tasks and do more with my time is economy leveraging. So in the online economy, something important to note is that while I'm not an accountant or anything, I am familiar with the fact that if you have people who are working outside of US soil, if you're an American, they don't need to fill out a 1099. They don't step foot on American soil, and they're doing work in other countries. And for example, if you work with people, like for example, my editor is from Brazil, I pay him a certain amount of money, and then you can take that amount of money and multiply it by 5 because he lives in a different country and he is amazing and works great. And I'm able to basically pay somebody who has a great skill set, who has great work ethic, a higher amount of money than I'm able to pay someone here, but they're going to deliver a similar, if not better, quality of work. And they're also able to do a higher quantity of that work because of the fact that I have 5 times the more effective dollars to give him rather than if I was working with someone from the US. That's my main hack, economy leverage. It's one of those things where if you do this, you're going to be able to expand your workload exponentially. Tim Ferriss talks about it in the 4-Hour Workweek, and that was one of my main books that got me into entrepreneurship and focusing on efficiency, automation, delegation, and getting rid of things. Because as Tim Ferriss talks about it, if a task can be eliminated, eliminate it. If a task can be automated, automate it. Else, delegate it. And when you delegate, economy leverage. That's my main tip in this video. Do that anytime something comes up in your life that is extremely high leverage. Get rid of the lower leverage things in your life. You shouldn't have to keep doing them if you're properly managing your time. That's what you end up doing. That's how I make all these videos and consult now rather than just being the video making guy and nothing else. If you like this video and it was different than all the productivity app ones, let me know what your thoughts were in the comment section down below, and check out this video on how to improve your productivity even more.